My name's Jennifer Cox. We live in Frisco, Texas.
Dan Cox. I was a camper the summer of 1987. I was second generation in our family, so my dad and my uncles, aunts and uncles had been out there.
I'm Corinne Cox. I am from Frisco, Texas. I'm 21 years old, and right now I am an oceanography major at Texas A&M.
My name is Benjamin Cox. I am 17 years old from Frisco, Texas. I'm finishing up my senior year, but I will be attending the United States Military Academy this fall.
I'm Dan Cox, and I live in Frisco, Texas. Ben and Corinne are my grandkids. Dan's my son, oldest son. Jennifer's my daughter-in-law. My dad knew John Stott, who was the first director of the camp, and my dad replaced him. The camp was just at the very beginning, under construction stages.
After my camper year, I was on staff, and they were great summers, and it's always been a really important place to me and just part of my growing up. And so it was something to where when our kids got old enough, it was always something that we wanted to do.
I'd never been to camp before, but I sent my kids out there in the summer of 2012, and then they've been involved for 10 summers, and then I was the camp nurse for like a week, like for 5 years. So being in the Dallas area and just being so just inundated with like information and things and stuff and activities all the time, I just love when you get out there. I mean, it's so remote and it's so focused on really on Christ and on teaching about Christ, but it just really I love how it just takes us all out of our element here and just lets us slow down for just a period of time every year.
I accepted Christ as a camper at Hidden Falls. I started to lead worship there, and I started playing guitar and doing that. I still do that today, and it's been a huge part of my life and my testimony. And then to have my kids be a part of it as well, and I think in a lot of ways even have more fun and more fulfilling experiences than even I did, more years and friends and things like that.
I would say that like one of the things about Hidden Falls and about kind of church camps in general that people have a misconception is that you have to be, already pretty involved in a church to go out there. But I would say there were some people that would come out to camp, a lot of my campers who really didn't have an idea of who Christ was. So to kind of be that first person that God uses to share your testimony and to share, the love of Christ with, especially when you're 16 and 17, and to have responsibility in leadership, and then on top of that, being able to serve people through that, it's extremely rewarding. And I would never trade the time that I was away out at camp to be doing something else.
Some of the most rewarding moments to me out there were when kids kind of had that aha moment with Christ and like everything just kind of clicked. I just remember like feeling just so like proud and like happy for them, and like just so like grateful that I could share like that special like moment for them, or that I could have even been like a tiny part in them like accepting Christ or finding their faith.
It's important to me to financially support Hidden Falls Ranch because not only are they discipling like little kids and they're teaching about Christ at a young age, there's a real education that takes place among the counselors and the staff, and they are developing leadership skills that are just essential to their future success, and they continue to develop their faith, and they become you become really strong in your faith when you're teaching other people and when you're discipling younger kids.
I think just the legacy of the ministry and the generational impact. It's really good ministry. God is blessing it. It's spanning multiple generations, and anyone that's been around the camp can look around and see in their own family and their friends and what a big impact it's had on their life.
They scholarship kids out there, so if they financially can't go, there's ways that kids can be helped to go to camp.
I think it's important to financially support Hidden Falls Ranch because their mission is so pure, and it's to tell kids about Jesus. And really, what better thing to support than helping kids like find their way to Christ and helping fund the people that make that possible and run the organization out there.
If you want to put your money to where 100% of it goes toward the ministry, this is the place. A place like this, there is no waste. That money goes right to the ministry.
If there's one thing I wanted to add, it's just how special of a place it really is. Like, I became a Christian, like a genuine Christian out there. That was where I really understood what it meant to follow Christ, and it's one of the few places that I've been that I've really like felt Jesus. It's a really special place that does wonderful things.